Hey folks, this is Aaron here to let you know that when I go back to my high school reunion, I want to tell them I was a big success. And the best way you can help me out with that is by donating to our Patreon. For only $1 a month, you can support our show, After Credits Cast, as well as other fun shows we have in the works right now. And the more you help us out, the more this can be my job, and I can leave whatever the hell I'm working on right now, professionally, and help me launch into a career of just fun podcasting, blogging, video making, just all sorts of creative stuff that I know I am great at, or at the very least I have more fun doing. I'm not gonna, be arrogant and say I'm the best. It's not how I roll. So please, go to patreon.com/evacstation and help us out. Just $1 a month is all we need to help keep the lights on over here. Thank you very much, and on to the show. High school told us to prepare for college so we can get good careers. Here we are 10 years later with jobs we hate and running a podcast into the fucking ground. We are... right, Kako Metters.
Oh God! Stop!
And I am Aaron Wasakata. Waseskata. There we go. I gotta say it right next time. And for those listening, I'm gonna do a new thing in every intro, where I talk about who the intro song was by. I should have been doing that a long time ago, but I'm really bad at this. So, the intro song this week was High School Never Ends by Bowling for Soup. And today, we're discussing Ocean Waves. Before we get to that, though, Ryan, what you been watching?
Oh, man, what the hell? It took me by surprise again. Damn it. I did the thing. Jeez. You know what? I've been watching my life fall apart in ruins because I hate this fucking job. You got too real with this intro, dude. You got too real. You know what? I've been watching job posting boards is what I've been watching, and
that's fair.
Brief aside to that, I actually have a phone interview tomorrow. So hey.
Nice. Any word on what it may or may not be? And keep in mind, this podcast comes out like a month after we record it, so...
Yeah. So hopefully we'll do a little bit of self-fulfilling prophecy here, and I'll get it. But in a nutshell, my one of the people that I went to college with and whom I play Dungeons & Dragons with every week, her company, which is a small kind of investment loan company, has a call center out in Brazil, and they're looking for an operations analyst support role to help analyze exactly what causes the majority of their escalations and help de-escalate it, and to help train their call center abroad as well. And I've been working at call centers for a good long while. And of course, I've been handling escalations. Haha, that's a lie. But I did it, and I got the job. Nice. Self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm just gonna hopefully...
So when you described that, you took so many swerves there. First, you're like, well, there's this going to be this, how do you start? That there's this, investment firm thing. I'm like, oh, you're going to be like a little loan shark kind of guy. And then you swerved over to Brazil, and I'm like, you're not moving to Brazil, are you? Then you swerved back to being like an analyst, and I'm like, what are you fucking doing?
Nutshell, I help the company figure out how to make its call center better.
That's fair. Okay, I can follow that.
Yeah. Phone interview tomorrow. Wish me luck. Sing goodbyes.
I wish you the best of luck. And a month from now, when this comes out, we'll be talking in another podcast about how you got this job and how great it is.
Yes.
I am also looking for work, but that's not my what you watching thing. I'm going to probably figure that out sooner or later. I need to figure out what it is I'm looking for, because I've been kind of all over the place trying to find anything. Data entry is not something that is, fun. It's kind of mind-numbing.
It's really not.
The only benefit to it is I can listen to podcasts all day, and I'm not gonna lie, I do enjoy the podcast, but I have other ambitions, man. I don't want. I want to do. So here's the thing. One thing I'd love to be able to do is find a good non-profit job and just do something that's benefits humanity. That'd be super awesome to do. there's just not a lot of those around here that have openings.
Yeah.
And that kind of sucks. But
I hear you, man. I hear you.
Because, like, here's the thing. Data entry for the job I'm working for. I'm not going to name names. Not going to name whatever company it is because I don't want to throw anyone on the bus. But as far as I'm concerned, it perpetuates the cog in a big machine mentality. It's an interchangeable job. I could leave tomorrow and they'd find someone to replace me, and it wouldn't make a big difference in the grand scheme of things. And the company doesn't give a shit at all. But if I worked for something that actually helped people directly, it wouldn't matter, because I'm helping the people out. The people who, if I wasn't there, they would not have someone giving them help with whatever the hell I'd be doing. So, looking for something like that. If failing that, something I already have skills in, i.e. writing or cooking. The latter of which I'm sort of picky on, because I had a cooking job at Hy-Vee way back in the day, a local grocery store chain. And I don't want to work for a corporate kitchen. I want to work for something a little smaller and a little more, like, personal, because corporate bullshit really makes those jobs less fun.
Yeah. Corporate has a way of fucking, like, even the best things up.
There's a movie we saw, or a show we saw recently, that actually had that same thing come up, where it's like, they looked like they were having fun until they got all corporate on them. I can't remember what the fucking movie was now. I'll have to look it up and remember what it is. But, speaking of movies, I do have a What You Watching this week. Getting to a more positive topic here. I saw Ant-Man! A week late, but I saw it!
Yes! What'd you think?
So, I'm not going to get too big on it now, because I want to do a special podcast for Marvel stuff. It'll be Countdown to Infinity Part 2. But I think it's good. It was fun. It's definitely not in, like, the top 10. It's not, like, mind-blowingly amazing, but it was fun. And it answered the one question I had, which was, how the hell are you going to tie this into everything else? And by God, they gave it a great answer that I was looking for. So I'm ecstatic with that. I'm obviously not going to say much more because I don't want to spoil it for you. But best moment, if I had to pick anything from my memory that's very fuzzy all of a sudden. I would say it's probably... I really did enjoy when Hank finally went to the quantum realm to do things. I thought it was pretty cool. That was nice.
Yeah, all right. That's a good moment.
Yep. And of course, on top of that too, I've been playing a little more Zelda on the Switch, which I've been having a little bit of fun with, and I've been playing a little bit more Horizon Zero Dawn. I've been a little busy to be able to do both, but I think I might try to get Zero Dawn done first because I'm already a good chunk of the way into it, and I feel like I've got a better handle on those controls over Zelda. The small Switch controller is hard for me to get used to right away, so it's taking me a little more time. No gripes against it, just it's hard to get used to.
That actually brings up a question. When you got the trade-in, did he also include the that controller like fucking adapter where you can slide both like of the Joy-Cons?
Yes.
Okay.
It's all the base package of the what you call it, Switch. I don't know if I mentioned this in the podcast last time we talked, but so in the trade he also had a Mario Kart 8 in the Switch, which I thought, oh hey, cool, an extra freebie. He messaged me literally that afternoon after I messaged you about it. He's like, hey, that's my buddy's actually. I need to get that back to him. So I'm down to one game again, but it's fine. I'm thinking my plan might be to either finish Zelda and then either trade it in for a different game, or just stick to rentals until I find something I really want to keep.
That's a fair assessment. That's a fair option.
Yeah, especially with the ones that are like re-releases, like Mario Kart 8. I love Mario Kart, but I already own it on the Wii U. I don't want to buy it again unless it's like at a very steep discount because I don't want to double dip, man. I don't want to double dip.
That's fair. I mean, to be entirely honest, I got I got Mario Kart 8 and Splatoon 2 because those are like the big games that I know I'll have other people to play with eventually. So I'm like, yeah, I really enjoy Mario Kart, and I haven't played Splatoon in forever, but it was fun the last time I played it. And when I meet some more people who have that have Switches, they will eventually either have one of those games or Smash Brothers when it comes out. So I'll have other people to play with.
Smash Bros is one I guarantee I'll get like day one, so put me down for playing with you on that one. And
Yeah. You guys are gonna make me like try and get good again. I used to be halfway decent at that. I was a pretty damn okay Sheik player.
What's funny is actually back in the days of Melee and early Brawl, I actually was pretty solid too. I used to actually host mini tournaments with my buddies back in the day. It was never more than like 10 or 12 people, but whatever. It was still fun, and I usually got in our mock-up quarter to semifinals. Sometimes I'd even get to the end. I was pretty solid overall.
Dude, all right.
Well, keep in mind, none of us are pro gamers or anything, but I felt like I did pretty good. I never mastered wave dashing or any of that crap because I thought that was just bullshit.
Wave dashing, webu. Goddamn.
Yeah, I never liked wave dashing. I always thought it was cheating, and I guess not like legit cheating, but like it just felt like you were like using bullshit exploits in the game to do stuff. And I know that's not necessarily the case, but I just personally, when I was a kid, did not like it. So, man, my brain and fingers didn't work that way, so I couldn't do it. So I'm like, fuck this is stupid. I'm just gonna play the game like I'm supposed to. And then I got Brawl, and I played that game until mods came out. Then I modded the fuck out of that game, and it looked super great when I did. Had fucking Pyramid Head fighting Darth Vader on top of Hyrule Castle. It was great.
Oh my god, Project M.
Good stuff. Yeah, no, I'm looking for the new one. I don't imagine there'll be mods for the Switch one anytime soon, but I'm excited for it, so I'm looking forward to it. Speaking of things to look forward to, let's talk about our movie this week.
All right, let's do it.
So this week on the SummerSlam, we'll be crashing into the in with some Ocean Waves, originally released in 1993. This is the first film in the Ghibli catalog to not be directed by either Hayao Miyazaki or Ishio Takahata, but is instead directed by one Tomomi Mochizuki. I'm gonna butcher some of these names at some point, I guarantee it. This remains one of the few Ghibli movies to have yet to not receive an English dub, and there are not really any notable awards or accolades for it at this time. It's even one of the shortest Ghibli films to date. There are 2 English titles for this film, even though there are no dubs, as the studio couldn't decide what to call it until finally settling on Ocean Waves, though it had also gone by the name I Can Hear the Sea. As a bonus fun fact, because I am running short on things in this little section here, this TV movie was an attempt to make anime solely by the young staff members of Studio Ghibli, mostly in their 20s and 30s. Their motto was to produce quickly, cheaply, and with quality, but the project went over budget and over schedule.
Well, they're young, B. They're young. Come on.
This will not be the only time this comes up. I promise you this. I actually have read ahead for the next session we're doing. There's going to be another one of these coming up, so just you wait. So Ryan, what are your initial thoughts on this movie?
Initial thoughts. This actually surprised me how much I liked it. It's a very interesting side effect that I feel like when it's all said and done, when we're all said and done with the Miyazaki marathon, I'm going to actually be into slice of life anime because I'm not really that guy. I'm the guy who's like, oh, you have a boss-ass protagonist with crazy powers and, like, he hangs out with the crew of really powerful folk? Sign me up. But, like, actual, just, like, normal daily life shenaniganery, like, I don't go to anime for that. And this is starting to change my mind, because this one was pretty cool.
I hear you. I haven't seen a lot of slice of life anime, but there's one I can recommend for you to check out if you ever get time. Have you ever heard of Toradora?
No, I haven't.
So it's a slice of life like rom-com kind of thing. The main protagonist is one of your usual like antisocial kind of guys he's a good cook and he's just kind of standoffish. It's the lead female character who is fucking baller in that show, though. I think you'll have a lot of fun with that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely give it a look if you get a chance. But as for me on this movie, I thought it was a good, short, sweet love story. I think it's just the right amount of length to not get too boring. I would have liked a little more conflict because it kind of hinted there was going to be some, and then it just kind of backed away from it. And like, okay. You do you, movie. You do you. with that, I have a synopsis for you, Ryan. Are you ready for this bullshit synopsis I threw together?
Oh, God. Here we go.
Returning to his high school after some time, which I don't believe is ever actually disclosed, Taco prepares for his class reunion. During his trip, he reminisces about a young woman named Rikako. Oh, wait, I got a message here. Hang on.
Sorry.
Oh. Sorry. I'm going to start over just in case it didn't record properly. Here we go.
Yeah, it's alright.
Yeah. No, you're good. You're good. I'm happy for the heads up. Returning to high school after some time, which I don't believe is actually disclosed, Taco prepares for his class reunion. During his trip, he reminisces about a young woman named Rikako, a transfer student with mysterious powers to summon persona and... oh, wait, wrong thing. The majority of the school treats her weird, and she acts kind of standoffish and kind. During a class trip to Hawaii, Rikako approaches our beefy Taco to crunch some numbers over borrowing some money from him. While the audiences can see that she is Doritos Loco, Taco decides to loan her an amount of yen that converts roughly to the price of a new Xbox One X. No questions asked. His friend Yu Yu Hakusho finds out and offers money too, because he's mad in love with Rikako's booty, if you know what I mean. The money, as it turns out, was used for Rikako to return to Tokyo, where she's from, to visit her father. She's from a broken family and wants to live with him. For reasons not disclosed, it doesn't work out. Rikako spends most of the time in Tokyo with Taco, bossing him around and taking advantage of him. Doesn't even get Chipotle, if you know what I mean. Upon their return to Kochi High School, Rikako returns to being a lone wolf, and Taco returns to following the bell of school. And things seem normal, even if Yu Yu Hakusho is a bit cheesed off at Taco for spending time with the girl he likes. Things come to a head during the school festival. It's a Japanese school thing, we'll explain later. Where Rikako is bullied by her female classmates for not participating, which I hear is a common thing in Japanese high schools. Taco doesn't step in because he knows that girls will tell him, not your problem. She slaps him, and Yu Yu Hakusho finds out and punches the school spirit right out of him. According to Taco, they don't speak again even at the graduation. Flashback forward to the current time, and we see Taco getting picked up and delivered by Yu Yu Hakusho, who has forgiven how spicy things got in high school. They party with their old high school alumni, where the students confess old feelings, drink, and apologize for being assholes to each other. Rikako doesn't even show up, and Taco gets a bit soggy. On his return to Tokyo University, one of them, somewhere, he sees Rikako at the train station. He runs to her and presumably admits feelings he developed despite her being totally unlikable and manipulative during the events of the film. That's love with greasy foods, am I right?
Oh, that's a big mood. Oh, thank God you said it. Oh, man, thank God you said it. All right. No, well done, sir.
I'm hungry. Does anyone want some tacos?
Oh, my God.
I literally came with a stupid idea to make his name a pun, and then I just went with it. I'm like, I'm going to just hate myself at the end of this. But you know what I told myself? Job. It's not your problem. Had to repeat that joke. It didn't make Ryan laugh the first time. Hope everyone forgives me for my sin.
Stop, please.
So Ryan, how did you enjoy this delicious treat?
God damn it. I'm enjoying it less now. No, I'm just joking. No, honestly, like I said earlier, I liked it much more than I thought I would. I got so wrapped up in... Fuck, now I can't think of it except Taco. God damn you!
That's Taku.
I know his name, Aaron, but you poisoned it in my mind. Taku. I got so kind of wrapped up in Taku's mindset. Fuck, that's never gonna not happen anymore. Okay, and I ruined this discussion. I'm sorry. I really did not like Rikaku. She was getting on my last fucking nerve, and I've had an ex-girlfriend like that before. Not to that extreme,
but similar. And yeah, it's a learning experience that every boy should probably learn. Ideally, with spending less money. Let's go with that.
I mean, like, so I saw the things that they were trying to lay in there, and how, you know, she had this really horrible like family situation, and she was trying to like get back with her dad, but her dad had moved on, and you know, being a child that was dealing with the divorce, that's a thing, and the fact that how she was so kind of cold and distant with everybody, yet this kid that lent her money, she's suddenly like telling all of her shit to. Like, I understand that the signs that they actually liked each other were built in, and that of course, being teenagers, they had a complete lack of self-awareness.
And a lot of them growing up to do.
It's just like, I get it. No, I understand, movie, what you're doing to me, but every single time it was she just felt so manipulative. And so Taku, fuck you, Aaron. So Taku,
no, you said it right. You said it right.
I say it right, but it taco echoes in my mind, and I'm like, God damn it. But every time Taku was like, I can't believe this chick. Like, how the hell am I? Like, did she just like call me to meet up with this dude that she was trying to date, and then realized that he was seeing somebody, so she called me to save face? The fuck? I'm like, bruh, what are you doing? Why did you go all the way to Tokyo for this chick? Why?
I mean, I don't think he went for her, though. I think he went to help the other girl out and knew that if he didn't, she would be in more trouble than he would. So I can at least accept that. My question...
No. He did not. He went to the airport to help the other girl out. I completely give you that. But when she was sitting there looking super sad, and he offered to go to Tokyo with her, I'm like, bruh.
Okay, but in his defense, though, it is his money. He can go if he wants to. Which brings me to my real question. I actually have it in my discussion, so I'll just hop to that one real quick. Would you loan $543 like Taku did, with no explanation as to why she needed it so much?
Absolutely fucking not. Especially not to somebody who for all intents and purposes, I don't like. Like, either I know nothing about her except for the fact that my boy likes her, which was a whole other thing that I had in the back of my mind, but I'll talk about that later. But just like random girl, like who's kind of standoffish to everybody, asked me for a huge fucking loan. When he said yes, I was just like, okay, so he likes her. He doesn't. He's gonna be super clueless about it, but he does. Okay.
Yeah. Well. Okay. So
Taku.
So then, in hindsight, though, knowing what she would eventually use that money for, would you have lent it to her then? Or would it still be a case of, no, it's too much money, bro?
I mean, that's a lot of money. that is a lot of, especially if he like worked the entire summer, didn't go to summer school to increase his rankings in the class, by the way. Instead, he just worked his ass off so that he would have a good amount of spending money when they went to their trip for Hawaii. Like, that's big. That represents like months of his work, and he just gave it to her. I was just like,
yeah, like
you poor young bastard. All right, well, okay, that's what we're doing here.
And here's the thing. I am now 28 years old at the time of recording this, and I can safely say now I would not give that money out, because I know that is basically not a whole paycheck, but it's a good chunk of my paycheck, which needs to go to bills and food and all sorts of other important shit. At the age of 17 or 18 like he is, again, I would question that, but another part of me, and I'm not going to say what part of me, But other party would probably be like, yo, get her that money and you can get some. And I'd be like, that's a terrible idea. Here's the money. I'm an idiot, I know. But as a high school person, I would think to myself, and I'm going to quote Bart Simpson here actually a little bit. If I do exactly what she says, she's bound to like me sooner or later.
Yeah, that's real. That's real. And also you bring up a very interesting point, because when you're like, money takes on such a different connotation when you're older as opposed to when you're young, because you have to, like, money is essentially the lifeblood that you need to survive in this world. I wish it wasn't, but it is. So as a child, you have your parents taking care of 95% of your, like, needs and what have you. And so the money that you get is all just blow-off money. It's all, you can do whatever the fuck you want with it because you worked, and there's no pressing responsibilities on you at that point in time. So if he wants to give her $500 in the interest of advancing his relationship with her, that's a super unhealthy precedent to set, but you do you, kid.
I have a story I could tell. I feel like I shouldn't. Ryan, should I tell a very embarrassing story about myself?
Oh, bruh. I mean, I feel like the podcast demands it now. Now that you've served it up.
Okay. I'm gonna not name names here, because I don't want to be that guy. So, second relationship. I brought it up earlier. I'm gonna bring it up very early. It was not a very long one. It was a terrible mistake in every sense of the word. But I had recently come into some money. I'm not gonna explain the situation. It's a long story.
Oh,
it was legal, though. Nothing to question there. I'd been with this girl for a few days. We'd gone out, and we were doing this thing here in Iowa called the State Fair. Ryan knows a little bit about it. He's heard of it. It's considered one of the biggest state fairs in the country, from what I've been told. So we go to that, and we hang out there for a couple days. It's fine. It's relatively inexpensive. Until the final day, and this is where I make the worst mistake, and I've learned my lesson from this, and I will never repeat this shit again. So on our way out, we walk by this, I don't remember what it was. It was like a shop or something, but this guy was selling these little creatures, these little animals, and we look over, and it turns out that they're bush babies. Have you heard of these, Ryan? No, sorry, no, not bush babies, sugar gliders. That's right, that's what they were. We heard of those.
Oh, God.
Yes.
No.
So, on the way in, she sees them, and she asks me about it. I'm like, no. I don't want to put that kind of money. That's not what I want to do. So you go in.
How much was even hit for? Aaron, how much was even hit for?
Let me finish. So we go in. We go into the fair. We do our thing, and on our way out, she asks me again. She's giving me these big puppy dog eye things, and I'm just sitting here like, man, I don't want to say yes because I don't want to spend this money, but I like her. And I want to see if this goes anywhere, and so like an idiot, I cave in, and I'm not going to say how much money this was at the time. Inflation.
Oh, bro, no, you got it. Oh my God, dude.
What? Do you
I need to know how much it was.
Okay, I'll tell you, Ryan. Basically, I should have bought a PlayStation 3 with that money.
No!
It was a terrible decision. I told you this already.
No! Oh, son!
So, it's not over yet, Ryan. It's not over yet. So, literally that night, she calls me up a couple hours later and is in tears because her mom won't let her keep it. And then we go to take it to her friend's place, who she swears will pay us for it. That never happened. And I believe we stopped seeing each other about a week later.
Oh my God.
The lesson I learned here, children, at the ripe age of 18 was you don't do that kind of shit.
18. Lord have mercy.
I should have bought a fucking PlayStation 3. I knew it.
Man, you know what? You were a babby. You were a babby. It's understandable. It's understandable.
If I had known the trajectory I wanted my life to go, I should have bought, like, recording shit for YouTube and just gone that way. But nope. I'm like, I'm gonna get this...
Oh, man.
I'm gonna get this cute Asian girl a sugar glider, and things are gonna be cool. And then things didn't go cool, and I'm like, aw.
Bruh. Oh, like, we could have long conversations on if I knew where my life was going to go, would I do shit differently? And I wouldn't do like major things differently.
But you would have prepped for certain things, though.
I would have prepped for a few things. I would have prepped for a couple of things.
Well, I'm glad I shared this embarrassing story with you, Ryan, because it's one of the worst ones. I'll say that much.
That's all right. You know, if that's like the worst shit that you ended up getting up to, that's perfectly fine. You're doing pretty good. You're doing pretty good.
Considering where I am now, I feel better about myself. But man, that was a rough learning curve.
Oh my god! No, Aaron, a pet! No.
So bring this right back around here. Let's get another question here.
Alright, let's do it.
So in the beginning of the movie, the class trip is canceled, and there's no explanation as to why. And both Taku and I forget his friend's name, so I'm just going to continue with Yu Hakusho. They both actually get very belligerent and start writing in and questioning this whole thing. Why is the school making such a big deal not to answer questions? And is this just a Japanese school thing? I don't think you can answer that second part, but why do you think the school would go out of their way to cover it up this much?
Well, I think they, or at least my understanding of it, was that the reason why the school trip was canceled was because they scored so low in, like, their state placement exam that essentially they were doing it to encourage the students to study harder. And Taku and his boy, like, to their credit, were like, no, that's not gonna help us study more. You're just doing it to make the parents feel better and to make yourselves feel better by forcing this arbitrary-ass punishment on us. And I was like, you know what? I like these two guys. I like that. Like they stood up to authority in a respectful manner, but they also, like, let them know, man, no, that's not good. Like, why the hell would you do this? And I really liked that that was the kind of inciting relationship for their friendship. I thought that was a really cool thing to base it on. But no, I think it was just, and you're right, it probably is, like, it probably has something to do with Japanese culture, but the idea that these kids actually stood up to, like, their teachers, like, in regards to this and called them out on their bullshit was, I don't think, something that happens. Which is interesting because I'm remembering from what's the other slice of life anime that we just talked about a few weeks ago.
Oh, I can't list here. Hang on a second. I think I know what you're talking about. Ocean Waves? No, that's not it.
No, that's what we're talking about now, B.
Sorry. I mean, only yesterday. That's not it.
No, that's it. Only yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, but in that one, they were having, like, mock debates / like, class town halls when they were, like, in 5th grade.
Yeah, that was
so
grade
it's
school.
Like, yeah, it was like they were in grade school. So, like, if that's a part of, you know, Japanese culture, like, in, like, child rearing, then how are you surprised when a couple of kids in high school who don't take kindly to that guff, like, organize and talk to their higher ups about it? Like, if that's a part of it.
That's fair.
So I don't know. I liked it, but I don't know.
You know, that kind of reminds me, too, of back when I was in high school about how, like, if a couple people in class would cause problems, the whole class would get punished for it. You ever had that issue come up?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Well, I remember, like,
or like when somebody does something and they can't figure out who it is, so they're like, if nobody, like, tells, like, who it is, then the whole class is gonna get punished. And be like, bitch, we didn't do anything.
Well, it reminds me in 6th grade a little bit. We had a science class, and I don't remember who it was, but there were people causing trouble and not paying attention and making things like it was chaos all over the place. So the teacher's like, okay, fuck this noise. Everyone get out pen and paper. You're going to write down whatever fucking sentence I say over and over again until we're done class. And I'm sitting here, and I'm like, this is stupid. I didn't even do anything, and I'm writing bullshit for no reason. Had I had the mentality I have now, Ryan, I would have just wrote down, I've done nothing wrong. This is bullshit. I'm not going to do anything else. And left it at that. But unfortunately, I was that compliant little kid, like, I just want to get out of here and go home. That's all I want to do. So, fuck this.
I mean, hey, it's a thing. That is a thing.
Yeah. Let's see, next question here. Yutaka, that was his name. I don't know why I forgot that. Why is Yutaka especially annoyed with the transfer student Rikako? And I guess we kind of figured that out, that he likes her, but doesn't he seem kind of like a little more agitated at her at first when she shows up? Like, I feel like the whole school kind of has a weird reaction to her, but him in particular.
Well, okay, so when he, like, because he's introduced to her before, like, the whole student body is, and his first interaction with her is his boy saying, like, I'm excited because I get to show her around school. I like her. She's pretty. And he's like, all right. And he was already, like, kind of irritated, like, at that. So I was, at first, when I saw that, I didn't know, and considering the time frame of the movie, I kind of, like, automatically wrote it out of my head. But in another alternate reality, that beginning could have been inferred as him being jealous because he had feelings for his boy, and his boy has feelings for this girl. That's almost where I thought they were going to go with it, but then I was just like, nah, it's 1993, you're not going to get that story.
Yeah, you wouldn't get that kind of story until at least 2012.
Yeah, it's just like, we're not getting that story. That's not what's happening.
Especially in Japan, shit.
Yeah, especially in Japan. I wrote that, like, out real quick. But, his initial reaction, I'm not entirely sure of the reasoning behind it, except for the whole, like, oh, well, this is a girl that's unobtainable because my boy likes her. Like, instantly those two kind of realities set in his head without him really getting a chance to, like, observe or, like figure out, like, exactly what he was feeling. It's just, like, those two things happened. This girl is really pretty. My boy likes her. Both of those things exist. Nothing is going to happen with this person. So rather than just get caught up in, like, how amazing she is, it was almost instantly, like, looking at flaws, possibly.
Trying to dismiss the idea before it becomes a thing. I kind of get that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the whole student body, though, I feel like they were impressed by her, but then as soon as she kind of shunned everybody and, like, didn't really make an effort to be anybody's friend, it instantly became, oh, that girl's such a fucking snob. She thinks she's better than everybody. So that totally reads to me, like, why the whole school didn't like her.
Well, and that leads to my next question here. So, I played Persona 5, Ryan. It's the greatest game of 2017. And,
okay.
And in that game, you play as a transfer student yourself, going into a Japanese school in Tokyo-ish, and you fight monsters and shit. But the point that I want to bring here is you're a transfer student, and everyone reacts to you in a different way. Now, that situation is very different because everyone also knows you have a criminal record, because someone leaked it out, hint, hint. And in here, that's not the case. But both cases, everyone in the student body knows you're the transfer student and knows that there's... And they're making a big deal of it. Now, I don't remember any time in my schooling, whenever that came up, a transfer student being a big deal. Was that ever a big deal for you? I know this is primarily a Japanese school thing, most likely, or at least in Japanese media. But I just don't know if anything like this ever happened in American schools. I can't recall anything like this.
I wouldn't say so, but my kind of counter argument to that is that I'm from Chicago, and I've lived here my entire life. So I feel like, especially kids and young people in Chicago, we're not, like, amazingly, like, we're not amazingly like drawn to like other places because Chicago has everything. Now, if you were to come from a small town or like be at a school at a small town, and then the transfer student was from Chicago, maybe then I could see something like that happening, kind of. But in terms of like going to school at a big city, not too much phases us.
Chicago has everything, does it, Ryan? Does it have? Does it have Zombie Burger?
That I don't know. But we do have Kuma's, which is fantastic.
I will fight you in this, Ryan. Anyway, next one. So, when Taku and Rikako talk on Hawaii, I think it's Hawaii when they bring this up, she points out there's a difference in their dialect. And I couldn't really notice it at first at all. Did you notice anything different in the way they talked?
Not really, but at the same time, I am not Japanese.
No,
it would be like.
Well, I mean,
I would feel like, and maybe it's just because like English is in and of itself such a ridiculous fucking language, but. It's also 98% the fact that we've just grown up listening to English all of our lives, so we can hear the dialects like differently. So that'd be like hearing somebody from Chicago as opposed to hearing somebody from Kentucky.
Yeah,
we're absolutely gonna catch like the difference in how they sound. But somebody who doesn't speak English at all probably won't hear it super hard, I don't think.
Well, I know in other anime, when this has been brought up, so for example, different regions of Tokyo have different dialects, just like America and their states. But also, like, heroes and villains tend to have different dialogues too, with the villains having a much more like a lot of their sentences will end with like an O sound, and a lot of them will have this like deeper kind of connotation to what they're saying. Everything's all angry and everything, but it's typical villain stuff. But like so. Sometimes I'll notice it in Japanese media, but here it was just so subtle if there was any difference. I couldn't catch it at all.
Yeah. It was definitely subtle. It was definitely very subtle. I think it might have just been a point for them to kind of talk about, because that also was like a really odd thing to bring up. But you know, when you're young and you have feelings for somebody, but you don't really know, you like just like kind of make up excuses to talk to the person. That's kind of the vibe I was getting from that initial, like aside from her asking him for fucking $500, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking, but like I got that kind of vibe from it as well. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Next one I got here. Okay. So moving forward in the movie a little bit. So after she goes to Tokyo, she sees her bedrooms change when she's moved out, and her dad changed all up. So obviously, we both lived with our parents at one point, and you had a bedroom there at one point. Has your bedroom changed at your parents' place since you've moved out?
Yep.
And same here. So how has it changed then since you moved?
It's storage right now. It's straight up storage. My dad. I love my father. I love him dearly. My father does not know how to let things go, though.
So he's not a hoarder, but he's borderline.
Yeah, he's not a hoarder. I won't, because I've seen those shows, and that's fucking terrifying. No, he's not a hoarder, but at the same time, like if you asked him to throw away some stuff, he'd put his hands on it and be like, oh, snap, man, I can't get rid of this, man. What happens if XYZ? Man, I gotta put that back. And then he doesn't get rid of anything.
Man, I can't get rid of these old clothes hangers. What if someone needs an abortion? I need to keep these.
Bruh, no. Sir, why? God awful. No, bad Aaron. What's wrong with you? But when I told him that I was like brutally throwing things out in the process of moving to my new apartment, and I told him, look, I put my hands on it. If I haven't touched it in a year and a half, and I can't think of a really compelling reason to keep it, it's gone. Because I put my hands on a green book that I hadn't touched in a long time, and then I opened it and I was just like, oh snap, this is my mother's Bible. I'm not going to throw this away. The rest of that box got tossed. The rest of that box got abandoned. That was it. And he couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it.
Trust me, that was a very similar mentality we had in moving here. It took a little more coercing for Amanda to get rid of some stuff, but I was pretty much dumping as much as I could. I even got rid of old high school yearbooks. I'm looking at it and I'm like, yeah, there's not a lot of signatures in here, and I didn't like high school, so bye-bye. Got rid of those. But no, and now I'm in the process of doing that a little bit more before we move next year to wherever we go. So we have a year before we leave on this lease, and I've been selling my video games left and right because I've backed up on hard drives and shit, and I've made a pretty good chunk there. I'm not going to say here because I don't want anyone to know about that detail, but it's been nice to kind of declutter, get rid of some things I'm not playing anymore, or not going to play for a while. So good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
As for my old bedroom, let's see. So I actually moved around a lot in my old parents' house because I had one room, my brother had the other. Then we bunk bedded in one room and turned the bigger room into a playroom. And then as I got older, I'm like, I want my own room again, so I took the bigger room and he kept the smaller room. So going off the last room I was in, that room is now like an extra guest room with like a day bed in it and a fucking what do you call it? It's kind of like a cabinet kind of thing. It has all the fucking like dishes and old like china dishes and stuff in there. I don't know what it's called. I forget what it's called. But yeah, that's a dining room hutch. That's what it's called. It's just got all that in there. It's nothing too crazy. The other room is turned into more of an office. So both rooms have a bit of use, but they don't have guests over so often. So I think the guest room's just kind of there. I don't know. The cat slept in it more than anyone else did. So. But yeah, that's what happened in our rooms. All right, I like this next question because I have a good answer for this one. So in the movie, Taku is forced to sleep in the bathtub. Ryan, what is the weirdest place you've ever slept?
My boy in this fucking bathtub, girl. Oh my god, I'm sorry. It just threw me for a loop when he slept in the bathtub out of chivalry, and then woke up late because he slept like shit, and she said, finally, I've been trying to get in a bathroom forever. I was like, bitch, what? Oh man, I'm sorry, that just brought me right back. I'm so weirdest place that I've slept.
Yep.
Where? When I was younger, I weighed a lot more, and I had a lot more cushioning everywhere. So I could sleep pretty much anywhere. I was pretty much like a cat. The weirdest place I'd fallen asleep was on fire escape steps.
That's pretty weird. It's pretty weird. I'm going to try to one-up you, Ryan. I have slept under a hotel sink.
What?
So, I was with my parents and my brother at the time, and we were at this hotel. I think it was somewhere in Illinois. I don't think it was by Chicago. I think it was like the Quad Cities or something like that. We had stayed the night there because we were visiting family, and this is like one of our first times in a hotel after my grandparents died, so we couldn't stay with them anymore. And what happened was there was this like really annoying group of kids that were down at the pool, and our hotel room was close enough where we could hear them yelling all the way down the hallway. And so we were in a suite. My mom and dad were in like the master bedroom half of it. They had the big bed. And my brother and I had the fold-out couch, which is closer to the hallway. So I could hear them, and the fold-out couch wasn't comfortable either. So I'm like, okay, I can't sleep like this. And I was a kid, and I didn't want to leave the room and try to talk to somebody, because I didn't know who I was supposed to talk to. I didn't want to wake up mom and dad, because I'm like, well, I don't want to wake them up, because you don't do that. So I'm like, fuck it, I'll just sleep under this sink over here, close the door to this half of the suite, and I can't hear them nearly as much. Mom eventually wakes up and finds it under there and it's like, what the hell are you doing under the sink? And I'm like, I can't sleep. Those people are yelling. Everyone's yelling and screaming out there. And she's like, yeah, we're going to go to another hotel tomorrow. It was not a fun night for me.
Bruh, I am so sorry. That's
I feel like I was like,
that sucks.
I want to say I was like 8 or 9 years old. So my reasoning for that on how I was supposed to deal with it didn't make a lot of sense. I might be wrong on the age, but I think that was about it. Okay. Alright, next one. I'm going to try to rapid fire these, because we're going a little longer than I planned to. Okay, so next one. Would you have wanted a school fair like the Japanese schools have?
Yeah. You know what? I mean, okay.
I was going to say, and if you need me to explain the concept a bit more, because I know they do show it a bit more, but there are plenty of examples I can give to help detail out a bit more in case you have any questions about it.
No. I really liked the kind of school pride and community that it fostered. I went to Walter Payton College Prep, which they had, like, they were big on school spirit, like, when I was there. So I really kind of appreciate that. Like, it's just fun to be a part of, and fun to kind of take pride in it. I was actually really, really glad that those girls kind of called her out for not being a part of it. I was just like, get them, drag this bitch. I mean, yeah. I was just not her biggest fan.
I get you.
I was just not her biggest fan.
I get you. I would be in the same boat. I would like to do a school fair kind of thing like that. I didn't have a lot of school pride as a kid, but I did like creative projects. This seems like something that would have been right up my alley for the creative project kind of thing. And who knows, maybe more engaging group stuff like this would have gotten me more social and more into the school spirit. But as it stood for me, school spirit was just yelling at a basketball game, and I didn't really care about that. So,
yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair.
Okay, next one. Would you or have you attended your high school reunion? Why or why not?
I actually have my 10-year reunion apparently is scheduled in like November or what have you. So I am excited to go back. The reason being, A, lost 125 pounds and goddammit I feel good. 2, I was actually one of those odd kids that enjoyed high school, and I was a social butterfly when I was younger, and I was less fucking anxious about shit, so I knew more people. I was popular. I was on the football team. Everybody knew me because I was one of the best singers in the school. And it will be good to see everybody again and know that I'll walk in and everybody will be like, oh my God, Ryan, yay! Yeah, no, I'm ready for that.
Yeah, I think our 10-year was earlier this summer, and I skipped it. As already discussed in previous questions, I never really had a lot of school pride, and I didn't really enjoy high school much, except for the times when I got out of our high school to go to another building, which was downtown, to learn Japanese. So, I'm not really excited about it. Plus, the people I actually give a shit about, I keep in contact with as it is anyway, so it's not anything that I felt was ever a big deal, so...
That's fair. It's definitely fair.
Like, my best man at the wedding for next year is a guy I've known since middle school, for Christ's sake. So, definitely keeping that going. Good buddy there.
I'm actually a groomsman, or I will be a groomsman for a friend of mine that I've known since grade school too. So yeah.
Very good. Very good. Okay, skipping that one. Last question here, which is just more about the end of the film. And not really about the content, but more of just the animation. So, do you like it when they age animated characters, giving them slightly different looks as they show their age?
I think if it's done well, it can be really powerful. I liked how it was done in this particular setting. I really liked, and especially because the time between high school and college is so transformative in more ways than one. Like mentally, absolutely, but also physically. I mean, you can grow a lot, like in between, like the first 2 years of college. So having them having their physical looks kind of reflect how far they've come as a person, I thought was really, really cool.
Agreed. I think a good example I refer to whenever this kind of comes up is The Simpsons. I'll bring it up again. They've done a lot of like those future set episodes where you see the kids growing up a little bit here and there, And I've always liked it when they kind of age the characters a bit and show different designs. It's always kind of a neat thing to do. And another good example I can think of is the new Boruto spin-off show. I haven't seen a lot of it, but I do like the designs for the adult characters from the original Naruto series. They look pretty good as adults. They did a good job with that.
Yeah, they really did.
I think for here, the subtlety they did and just crafted them to be like maybe 5 years older at most, pretty solid. Nothing's too drastic, but you can definitely tell some time's gone by. They've aged a little bit. They've learned a little bit. It's a good way to do it. I appreciate what they did here. I'd love to see more of this in more animated stuff. So not everywhere, but in more.
Definitely. Now I have a bit of a question for you, and it might be long, it might be not. But how did you feel about essentially the love triangle that they were kind of building?
So Ryan, I grew up in the era.
They did that.
I grew up in the era of Ross, Rachel, and Joey. I guess I don't know. I grew up in the Friends love triangle bullshit, so I'm familiar with these kind of things. And let me tell you here, I like the setup. I like what they're trying to do here. The best friend, so we'll go with Yukata. The best friend basically is the one who meets the girl first, introduces her to school, shows her around, and all that stuff. And he's the one who kind of falls for her first, but can't really do anything about it. Because I'm assuming he gets the idea that his best friend, our main guy, Taco, loves her to an extent, but doesn't really quite know it yet. And then you have her, who doesn't give a shit about either one of them. And I'm like, okay, so this is a little bit of a twist here. She doesn't give a shit about either of those fuckers, and both of them want her, but neither of them are willing to admit it, and neither of them really, and one of them doesn't even really know it yet. And it definitely twists a few things I've seen from the typical love triangle, where it's literally just one person likes this person, likes this person, likes this person. So it's a refreshing twist on it. That being said, I am not the biggest fan of love triangles, so anything to shake it up a little bit to keep it interesting, I'm okay with. I'll go with that for now. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I liked the loyalty that they really stuck to, even since the beginning of the movie. As soon as he's introduced to Rikaku, it's just it never even enters his head as a for real thought that I could go after this girl, because it's just no, that's my boy. My boy is trying to go after her. And I really loved that bit of it. They didn't do the cliche thing where, yeah, they're boys, but she has boobs, so fuck him. I'm gonna do these things. That being said, the story was kind of inventing ways for Taku and Rikaku to be in situations that an American version of the story, his boy would have lost his fucking mind. What do you mean you took her to fucking Tokyo for a weekend getaway?
There would have been a fist fight.
And stayed with her in a hotel. That would have been a fucking, that would have been a row. That would have been a brawl. And I'm just he's so oblivious, he doesn't see how this is going to get taken. Because if you just state the facts, he took her to Tokyo for a getaway, and they stayed in a hotel together. That implies so much shit. None of it happened, but it implies so much. His boy is going to lose his fucking mind, and his boy didn't even flinch, really. He just took it, and when he said, yeah, no, nothing happened, he accepted it. So while I feel drama was trying to be artificially injected at some points, I really liked that their friendship kind of coasted the whole way until his boy punched him out. And it was only because he realized that he liked her before he did.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. And I definitely like that angle too. I'll go with that. Okay, so I'm going to do a quick conspiracy corner, and then Ryan, we're hitting the hour mark here really quick. Do we want to skip trivia this week and go straight to critique after the conspiracy corner?
I'm down with that. Yeah, I'm down with that.
All right, so
I'm sorry. I really like talking about nonsense.
No,
Drama.
I like how our slice of life episodes have gotten us onto just weird tangents. It's been fun. Okay, cue the music for Conspiracy Corner. Okay, so Conspiracy Corner time. Porco Rosso actually appears in this film as both a movie poster and physically appears sitting on a bench in a long shot in the film.
Wait, what?
Yeah, there's a long shot in the film, like he's like in the background. You can see him just sitting on a bench in the background. It's interesting. And from this, we can presume that the American made a film about his rivalry with Porco Rosso, thus connecting this to the Ghibli verse as a whole. Just the fact there's a movie poster for Porco Rosso is pretty funny.
How do I keep fucking missing these things? Like, what?
And then, according to this too, Ghibli receives a television commercial that can be seen, likely selling more buses and engines that we've seen previously.
Yeah, that one I saw. That one I caught. It's just like, oh, Ghibli. Yeah, I know that guy.
So yeah, the universe is connected, Ryan. It's never gonna stop. Can't stop, won't stop. Wait till the next episode, Ryan. I've got a fucking barrel of references here for you.
Oh my god! All right, I'm not ready for that one. But it was mostly because I was just so confused with everything going on in the next one. It was just like, man, what?
Okay, I can't wait to hear more about your thoughts on that one. All right, so we're gonna skip trivia this week because we're running a little long. We'll pull this off for next time. Next trivia, I refuse to skip though. I have some fun ones for that. So we'll go straight to critique, where we close out the show discussing what is we ranks. If you want to see what our ranks are, there's going to be a link in every video from this point on discussing the differences between platinum, gold, silver, bronze, stone, dirt, and shit. So please be sure to check that out because it's a very well-written article with some fun graphics, which we'll also see graphics in the video when we actually give the ranking. Ryan, what would you rank this film on our weird little scale?
Man, you know what? I'm gonna give it another silver, because I really like what it did. It's like any movie that can start to change my like notions on a genre entirely is pretty damn good in my opinion. Again, I like the subtle storytelling that Studio Ghibli brings to these like these movies that aren't like about like huge sweeping fantasies and things like that. It's about real life, and they do a lot of subtle storytelling to like portray really intricate like intimate moments. So yes, I give it a strong silver.
All right. I would be a little harsher to it. I would say either a low silver or a strong bronze. No hate on the film, obviously, but I've seen a lot of different slice of life works, and I've seen various high school works, and I don't feel like this is as strong as some of those are. I feel like this lacks...
You've seen better.
Yes, I feel like this lacks the distinct personality to set it apart from the other ones. Not that it's bad, it's serviceable. It's fine.
That's true. That's fair.
So I'll go with that. If you want to check this film out, you can go online and find it. We had to find a Japanese version because like I said, there's no localization for it. So best of luck to you on that one. Next week, Ryan, we're tackling Pom Poko.
I'm still not ready for this.
It's
what the hell was this movie?
It's a weird one. We're gonna have to age gate it probably because we're gonna talk about it. If you want to find us on the internet, you can find us at evacstation@gmail.com. You can also go to our Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr. There's a Steam page that's out there somewhere, I think, still. And you can always find us on YouTube, where we are at right now, or on iTunes, Google Play, and the other one, Peepa. That's our main one, actually. I should probably say that's the first one. Yeah, follow us all there. And, of course, there's always Patreon, where we'd love for you to go to donate $1 to keep us from having to go to do shittier jobs and stuff like that. I don't know where I was going with that one. So next time, Pom Poko, and we'll see you after the credits.
Bye.